Hi everyone, Chris Wilkinson coming at you from AwesomeCGG, and I'm back with another opening. So we're all really excited. The Pokemon Go set is about to be released. So today, in honor of that, I'm going to be opening up a Mewtwo versus Melmetal V starter deck. This is a play level 1 product, so it's for people who are just starting to get in, and I think this product is going to prove to be a pretty good way to kind of get yourself off the ground, sort of kind of understanding how to build a deck, what a competitive strategy looks like, and everything starts here. So there's 2 full decks that you can play against your friends. You can use the staples to add to your own deck. You can take this deck and improve it over time. There's really so much that you can do with these, and they give you additional cards down here, and I'm pretty sure that these additional cards aren't actually in the decks, but you can kind of switch them as you see fit. So let's just open it up, see what we've actually got going on here. All right, so let's see what we've got here. This is also my first time opening up and seeing everything that's in here, so this is also a new experience for me. Get everything on the side. Oh, so it does come with some booster packs, so I guess I'll be able to open those for you. You know what, before we even touch the decks, let's do the booster pack. So first thing we have is this little promo pack. I'm going to go ahead and open that up. So it's going to have our professor's researches, boss's orders, and lure modules and rare candy. So this is just, just staples, stuff that you're going to see in every deck. Professor's research, boss's orders, rare candy. These are staples of the competitive game. And then you have the newer cards, lure module, and egg incubator. The jury's still out on whether or not these cards are going to see play, but if you're a fan of Pokemon Go, or you just like collecting the cards, these are definitely cool ones to have. And let's just get right into the packs. I really hope that I get to peel a Ditto. That's like kind of one of the things I care about the most. And no pack trick for me. I kind of just go for it. So we'll see what we have here. An Articuno and an Alolan Executor V full art. I mean, come on, guys. That's got to be worth at least like 50 likes, something like that. I mean, like it's full art Alolan Executor V. Like how much better could you get? I guess we'll find out in pack number 2. Still haven't gotten to feel a Ditto yet. Kind of annoying. I love this Magikarp. This Magikarp is attack insane. Raging Fin. We go down. Spinarak. Not a Ditto. We got a Moltres. Spark. Let's see what this Moltres does. Alright. Not bad, not bad for a 1-prizer. So yeah, those are the Pokemon Go packs. So you have our Executor, so that's our big hit. We'll put him here just to remind everybody. You can even see him. You know what? I'm not going to do that. Let's move on to the decks. So the first deck we have here is we have Mewtwo, and let's just look at everything that comes with the deck. So first thing we have is our coin, if I could get it out of the thing. So really cool looking jumbo Mewtwo coin here. Probably wouldn't actually use one of these in a tournament, but you know what? It's so cool to have. And then we get our Mewtwo V promo. Pretty cool looking card. Super Psybolt for 50, Transfer Break 160, and Move and Energy. So I'm not super sure yet, but I feel like if the deck was trying to synergize with this Mewtwo, it'd have Pokemon that benefit from having the energies transferred to them. But I guess we'll see. We have the special condition reminder, some damage counters for when you're playing, an explanation of the product, and then just a game book, how to play the game, and last but not least, we have a paper playmat, so that way you have all the game zones memorized. And so let's just open up the deck and see what we're working with. All right, guys, so I'm going to lay out the deck, put it in order, and then I'm going to explain the cards to you and the strategy of the deck, and I'll be right back when I do that. All right, everybody. So, in the meantime, since I last, stopped recording, I have arranged the deck in order, and now I'm just going to show you the cards, and I'm going to explain what we got going on. So, obviously, in our Mewtwo V deck, first thing we have is a Mewtwo V. There's only one of these, but hopefully this is going to be your main attacker. 2 energy for 50 damage, and then 3 energy for 160 is going to be pretty effective against a lot of the things that are going to be in the other deck. So I think this card's actually pretty good. Next, we have a 3/3/2 line of Hatterene. So this is probably going to be, besides Mewtwo, the main strategy of your deck. So Hatterene's ability says, once during your turn, you may switch your active with one of your bench Pokemon, and if you do, your opponent does the same. So this is exactly like the ability Escape Rope can be useful if your opponent has something in their active spot that you don't want to deal with, or if they have just a singular bench Pokemon and you want them to switch it. This effectively functions as a boss's orders. Or just to be able to switch your own Pokemon if you have something like a boss's orders afterward. It doesn't matter if your opponent switches if you're just going to choose what they bring up afterward. So very useful ability, Witch Rondo. And then you have Psychic, 30 plus 50 for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So pretty efficient little card here, kind of something you just charge up on your bench. And if your opponent has something with a lot of energy on it, Hatterene's just going to come in and take the knockout. Accompanying that is a 3/3 line of Hatterem and Hatna. Pretty standard stuff on these guys, but it's important that you have a 3/3 line, so this is going to be something that you're going to be drawing into a lot with the deck. Next up, we have a 3/2 line of Starmie. Water Star, you might be a little confusing because it's a Psychic type deck, but no problem for us. We can attack for a single colorless energy, which means all our Psychic energy will power up Staryu in the same way that they will power up Starmie. Again, Starmie having a Psychic attack, 30 more damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active. So very similar to Hatterene, just going to be blowing up your opponents when they have a lot of energy in play. And then, if they don't, you just power gem 60 for 1 energy. So it's an efficient card. Moving on, we have a 2/1 line of Cinccino, functioning similarly to the Staryu, where these colorless energies are all fueled by our Psychic type energy. So pretty much a free inclusion. Yeah, so Cinccino, you can flip coins, do damage. Might be something that you can just blow somebody up in the late game with a triple heads. And then finally, for our Pokemon, I lied, we have more Pokemon to go, but next we have Lunatone. So you have Cycle Draw, discard, and then you can draw 3 cards. Could be useful to set up. And Moon Kinesis, 30 more damage for each Psychic energy attached to this Pokemon. Now that's different than all the other ones that rely on your opponent's Pokemon having energy, and I think it synergizes particularly well with Mewtwo's attack. You can move an energy from Mewtwo to the Lunatone, and by the time the Mewtwo is knocked out, you can bring the Lunatone up. He probably has a couple Psychic on him, and you're ready to do some damage with Moon Kinesis. Next, we have another colorless Pokemon. We have Indeedee, and this is the last Pokemon of the deck. Helping Hand, search your deck for a basic energy and attach it to one of your bench Pokemon. Very good ability for setting, or attack rather, for setting up. And keeping with the theme of our deck, Indeedee also has Psychic. So that's what you have for Pokemon. So this is pretty much going to just be like a deck that's going to rely on your opponent having a lot of energy in play. And then if they don't, you can charge your own attacks up and start overwhelming them with, Starmie, or Lunatone, rather. Let's get into the trainer supporters and stadiums. So we're going to be starting off with, let's see. Oh, well, I should have put them in order, but I think it's the same as the other deck. So you have 4 copies of the card Berry. So Berry, very straightforward. Supporter, draw 3 cards. Is it the best supporter of all time? No, but it's going to get the job done. It's going to draw you some cards. I think that the inclusion of the Professor's Research cards in the promo pack, whichever deck you end up preferring, I think those supporters would go in that deck, or you can kind of interchange them as you play with the different decks. But I think that one of the first cuts you're going to be interested in making is cutting Berry for Professor's Research, because Professor's Research is just a strictly better supporter card, and it's also included in the product. So it's kind of like they're pointing you in that direction. But for what it is, I'm a fan of 4 Berry. Next up, we have Shauna, just another shuffle, draw 5, generically good supporter. Going to help you set up in the early game, not going to be a dead draw late game. Something I'm pretty interested to see in here. And then finally, I'd say we get to the worst of the supporters. You have Bug Catcher. So you draw 2, you flip a coin, and if heads, you draw 2 more. Again, not going to win you any games, but it can draw you into something that you need. Those are the supporters. Getting into the items, we have 4 copies of Great Ball. We have 3 copies of Lure Module. 2 copies of Evolution Incense. I think 2 copies of Egg Incubator. Yep, thought I had it wrong for a second. 2 copies of Egg Incubator. 1 Energy Switch, and I like the Energy Switch. It kind of functions as an extra Mewtwo attack, so you can power up your Lunatone out of nowhere, or, you know, if you need 30 more damage at the end of the game and you don't have any energy left in your hand, you can take one for one of your other Pokemon in play and boost your own damage. So, big fan of Energy Switch here. And then 1 Actual Switch. You know, just another Switch is another just generically very good card. Most of the time with this deck, your Pokemon will probably either be getting knocked out or you'll be retreating. But just in case, you know, you're paralyzed, you need to get out of the active spot, 1 copy of Switch. And then rounding out the deck, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 Psychic Energies. I think that this is a lot of Psychic Energy, and I think if you're looking to cut cards, put some cards in the deck, I think starting with some Basic Energy might be a good idea, because you can only really attach 1 per turn. There's no way to attach multiple energy in this deck, and it seems like these might be clogged in your hand a little bit. So I'd probably start there if I were going to be improving the deck. So I'm going to move on to the Melmetal deck here. It's going to be pretty similar to the Mewtwo deck, but I know for sure that one's in order because I already did it. So this one should be a lot easier. So let's see. We have the Melmetal V, and then we have everything that came with the Mewtwo deck. We have the special conditions, the damage counters, the playmats, and last but not least, we have the really cool Melmetal coin. There it is, Melmetal rainbow coin. I like how the Mewtwo coin is white and this one is black. I think it creates a nice contrast between the 2 different coins. So let's see what we got here with Melmetal V. So 2 metal, 50 damage. You may attach a metal energy card from your hand to this Pokemon. All right, pretty good acceleration. And then we have just 140 damage for 3 energy, flat Mega Punch. So that's going to be what you're working toward. You know, it charges himself up with Arm Charge and 220 HP, nothing to sneeze at. So yeah, we have our Melmetal V deck. So let's see what else we have. So for the Pokemon line, in the same way that the first deck had Hatterene, we have Unfezant. So same line, we have a 3-3-2 line. Unfezant is just going to do 1 energy gust for 30, and then Hurricane Wing for 2 is flip 4 coins, 70 for each heads. So you really, you know, only need like 1 or 2 heads, and you're probably going to be knocking out most of the things in the Mewtwo deck. 140 damage is a lot. So I think setting up this Unfezant, hopefully hitting heads, getting a little lucky. Hurricane Wing is going to be doing some damage. And pretty similar for the other Pokemon, Pidove and Tranquil. Not really doing much, but you know what? They get you to Unfezant. And that's the important part. After that, we have a 3-3 line of Galarian Berserker. Galarian Berserker's attack, you can search your deck for 2 basic energy cards and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. We only play 1 kind of basic energy in this deck. Every Pokemon's going to be able to attack with metal energy, but getting a turn 2 Berserker is really going to boost your field. It's going to get your board set up, and it's going to make it so that way you're never going to be struggling to attack. You're going to be ahead in attachments. So Berserker is looking like a pretty good engine for this deck. Good inclusion. The Meowth, pretty standard, 70 HP, 1 retreat cost. You might be attacking with Meowth, but honestly, it's not really preferable. Growl can make him do less damage, and you just have a slash attack 20 for 2 energy. Moving on from that, oh, I'm sorry, it's a 4-3. Then we have 3 copies of Cobalion, 40 for 2, and then 130 for 3. Pretty good Pokemon here. This is what I would call a big basic. So it's a basic Pokemon with high HP that doesn't evolve. You put it in play, and with a couple attachments, you're just going to be attacking. You know, your opponent's going to be trying to evolve their Pokemon, and you're just going to be smacking them for 40. And they're, you know, by the time that they're ready to attack, they're already going to be knocked out. And Cobalion is, you're going to just have another Cobalion on the bench or something like that. So this is a big basic that I think is a pretty good attacker. Continuing with that theme, we have Magearna, 2 of them. Magearna says, shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 6 cards. Great setup attack for the early game. You play all your Pokemon down, attach your energy for turn, and then you're just ready to refill your hand, shuffle, draw 6. And then Wind Up Cannon, 10 plus 20 for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Again, generically very powerful attack. Your opponent is going to want to bench Pokemon to progress their board, and so Magearna caps out at 210, or excuse me, 110. But you know what? 110 for 2 energy is pretty good, especially when there's no drawback, and you know your opponent, it's another basic Pokemon, so you're going to be able to use it pretty soon after you put it into play. So that's it for Pokemon. So whereas the Mewtwo deck was a lot more concerned about what your opponent's doing, you know, kind of like how many energy do they have on their Pokemon, you're really focused here on just attaching, attacking, getting your game plan into play, and just kind of going quickly. So I think that's the main 2 differences between the decks. Although they do have a similar supporter line. We're going to have 4 Berry, 2 Shauna, and 2 Bug Catcher. Same thing I said last time about the professor's researches. If you do find yourself liking the Melmetal deck a little bit more and you're trying to improve it, these are the first cuts I would make. Professor's research, just an insane card. But for now we have these. And then for our search, same thing as the other deck. We have 4 copies of Great Ball, 3 copies of Lure Module, 2 copies of Evolution Incense, 2 Egg Incubators. We have 1 Switch, just like the other deck, and then instead of the energy switch, we play 1 copy of Metal Saucer. This is an extremely powerful card. It allows you to attach energy from your discard pile to your metal Pokemon. If you know you could find some more of these, I think they would go great in this deck. Really a powerful card going forward, and I'm excited that they included it. And then I'm assuming 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 metal. So again, pretty high number of metal energy. Might be a problem if you're playing your games and you find you're flooding a lot, just drawing a bunch of energy, but something you could definitely cut if you're trying to improve the decks. And that is the Melmetal V deck. So pretty soon on the channel, keep a lookout. We're going to be doing a gameplay video. Jake is going to be taking on Jamie. They're going to be playing these 2 decks against each other. So we'll see which one reigns supreme in that. But I hope you enjoyed learning about the decks, seeing what's inside of them, bearing with me while I sorted them and messed up my explanations of the cards. But yeah, this is a great product. I'm excited that they're releasing it. I hope it gets more people into the game and transitions people from either being a collector or, just kind of not really understanding what the cards do, but, just liking the way they look, and taking them to the next level of really kind of understanding the game going on and starting to play it. So be on the lookout for more videos like this in the future. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.